Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome back to the ModSauce. I actually recorded an episode where I built the Wither Killer thing, but I decided to scrap it. The thing is expensive, there's no doubt about that. I'll just show you what it takes to craft, and it figures my voice starts going as soon as I start recording. Anyway, you have to make a Wither Killer, which is this, and it takes 8 nether stars to make this thing, and then each wither block is 8 iron bars, 8 obsidian, and a diamond. So I think you need, let me see, at least somewhere around 60 something or 70-ish wither blocks to build this. It's a 5 by 5 by 3. It's hollow in the middle. I did have some issues when I put the thing together. It would say there's something inside the machine. So if we look in here, what I ended up doing was I just filled it with dirt after I built everything around it, and then ended up removing the dirt, and then it didn't give me the error. But that happened in my test world, and it happened here as well. When you do make this, if you make it, when you have this block here, the eyes will glow red. That's how you know it works. So I did an episode on that. I didn't think it was really worth uploading. Basically, you just put your wither skulls in here and your soul sand, and then 20 seconds later you get a nether star. You don't get the heart, you don't get the division sigil, just the star. So if you're all set on those other things, this is pretty good. You can automate it. You can pump in and out of any block on the structure, and it will only pump out the stars, so you don't have to worry about a filter for that. It is a good idea, however, to make 2 inputs, because when you pump in, if you fill up your soul sand slots, your conduit might buffer the next soul sand and not put the skulls in. So if you put a filter on one for the skulls, one for the soul sand, then you should be all set. So I'm in the process of moving. We've been having some server issues, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to record yet, but I want to finish it just for me. I went ahead and I exported everything that we had a ton of. We're missing from in here redstone, stone, copper, iron ingots, cobblestone, gravel, redstone, if I didn't say that. Then I took the IO port, and basically I took every disk out of this drive, and the disks were like probably 13 of these disks had something on them, and I condensed it down to 9 of them. So it's not a bad idea to run your stuff through an IO port if you've got spare disks every once in a while. So what we're going to do, we first need to get rid of this thing on here, because I'm going to need to keep some stuff in the ender chest. Let's throw some stuff in there just to make sure it stays. I have 2 exports. Good thing I did the test. Okay, everything that we put in there should stay in there. And I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a controller. I want to move this, just the basic stuff, the drives and the energy acceptor and the crafting terminal, and set it up at the new base. I may not have enough room to do this. It's going to be tricky overall once I get into auto processing and stuff, so I may have to set up a sorting system where the laser drill is to actually process everything before it comes into the AE network, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. That's the challenge of modded Minecraft, I suppose. So let's just take all of these. All of these are empty. We can just throw them in here. No big deal. And we'll keep the 10 that have stuff on them. I'll get rid of all the other stuff I don't need while we're at it. I don't need shears. I think that'll do it. So we'll get that one. All the drives will pop out. We'll get that one. And I'm gonna worry about all of this stuff a little later. I've got plenty of processors at the moment, so it's nothing that's going to be really urgent. I will set it up at some point though. Alright, so we are full already. We'll throw all the drives in there. And I think that's all we really need to set up a basic system just for storage without accounting for importing and stuff like that. Let me go back here. I'll go ahead and grab this cable. Actually, yeah, I will. What I'll probably do is when I'm ready to do this part, I'll just make another energy acceptor, since this stuff doesn't need to be hooked up to the actual AE network. I'll make another energy acceptor so these guys can get power when I need to grow crystals, and this thing as well. And these guys, I don't even think they need power. Maybe they, yeah, no, they do. So this doesn't necessarily need to be connected to the network, and they don't count as devices. So I think that'll do it. Let me just grab this last bit of cable just to make sure that I have enough. And I'll grab this stuff back here as well. Alright, hopefully that'll do it. So there's been some talk about potentially switching mod packs. So we're essentially at endgame right now. If we do switch before it happens, I definitely want to go to the moon first, just on principle, because we've already got a bunch of resources. I don't know if it's going to happen, but this mod pack does have some issues, and I don't know if we have been able to find solutions or if we will be able to. Okay, so I built a little floor here. I probably should have made it one lower or two lower. I figured 3 block spaces would be enough. So let me hit this one. See where we come out. Right here. That actually seems like a pretty okay place for a terminal, because I can put some machines right here. I can put a terminal on each side and access it either way. So let's just go ahead and we'll just run some cable up, and we'll throw our terminal, our first one, on this side. And then I'll either use the anchor things or just some covers to cover up that cable later. We'll make sure that connects, and I have a controller. I'm not really sure where to put it. How about somewhere down here, and then if I need to run cable around, I can use smart cable or make it a different color. Either way. Alright, so that'll be up there. We can put the drives really anywhere. I think I'll put them on the same segment as the other one, just so I can get to them. And we'll put our energy acceptor. I wanted to put it next to this, but I don't know if I want to cover up a side in case I want to run wire somewhere. So we'll put it back here, and we'll put the tesseract. Let me make sure it is receiving energy. Look at this. How pretty is this block? I love it. What did we do with our drives? They're all in here. Apparently my laser drill is working. I thought I had it disconnected. Let me find out which one of these. Of course, the one with 0 goes up to the top left corner. The way these fill, they fill from top left. They go like this, just like you would read. So I like to put them in order so that this doesn't have 42 and this has 2 types of items on it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Soaryn, the Zycraft guy. I'm really not that familiar, but he made this thing called the Super Soaryn Drive, and it's basically a way to make little subnetworks that will only actually take up one channel. So I want to do that for the deep storage units so that I don't have to run a bunch of dense cable and smart cable and stuff. So we'll see if I can remember how I set this up in my creative world. So we're going to need one piece of cable here. We're going to need the interface will go there, not on there. Let me run my smart cable first. And not sure which one I'm going to need. So we'll do smart cable. I better give it another space. There we go. So we put our interface here, our storage bus there, and that's good. So we're going to need another smart cable. And I'll try to explain this as I go because it took me a long time to wrap my head around it. You can do this with P2P tunnels, and being a network dude, I should understand that, but I haven't really looked into it enough. So, I don't know. I just figured out how to do it this way, so this is the way I'm going to do it. The only thing I can't decide is which cable to use, because you have to make these in groups of 8, so I've got 24 of these and 16 red. So I'm trying to figure out which one I will use more of for which purpose. And I think I'll probably end up using more this way. So let's use the yellow for this. I just picked 2 random colors. So there's our storage bus interface here. We'll do 3 this way, 3 that way. Is that right? Yep. And then we'll do, we'll skip 1. This is kind of going to get in my way. So we may have to augment this. We'll set up one segment of it just so I can explain the concept, and then we'll go from there. So what we're going to do, we're going to put all our storage buses over here. These already have stuff in them. And I forgot, there are a couple of blocks over here that I can knock out if I need to make a little room. Alright, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put a storage bus on each of these. And let's move these out of the way just to keep them separate. So I really only need, this is basically considered a segment. We'll get a storage bus on the end of that, and then another interface, and then you basically just repeat it. So I actually can fit the other ones. So I'll go ahead and do that. And storage bus right here. I'm definitely going to have to make some more stuff. Okay, so now we need to get power to this part. So if we just take a look at what is connected to this segment of yellow cable, we have a storage bus, an interface, and then 6 more storage buses, 3 on each side, for a total of 8. Now, as you know, you can run an ad hoc network, essentially is what it is, with 8 devices or less, which is why we didn't need a controller until now, because we had the terminal, 2 drives, an interface, which makes 4, and then 4 export buses. So that's a total of 8. We didn't need a controller. The way the controllers work, it will do 32 channels per side if you use dense cable, and 8 channels per side if you use smart cable or just this regular stuff. So this has 8 devices on this segment of the network. This one right now, it only has 4. If we were to repeat that, we get another 8. So essentially what happens is you've got this interface and you've got the storage bus, and it's kind of like a storage bus accessing the deep storage unit, except this storage bus can access anything on this segment of the network, and then this storage bus, it goes through the interface on this one as well, and it'll access anything on this segment of the network. So all we need to do is get power over here, since power does not go through interfaces and storage buses. How we do that is with quartz fiber and a different color smart cable. So if I put a quartz fiber here and a quartz fiber here, and then connect that with smart cable, see this lit up, and now it says 8 of 8 channels. If I use the yellow smart cable over here, it's going to connect, and it's going to basically, at that point, everything is on the same network. See, that's 8 of 8 channels. This shouldn't work. See, this says 0 of 8. It won't bridge the gap. So it's just too many devices. So if you use a different color with the quartz fiber, which only transmits power, now we've got 8 channels here. And then if we do the same thing on this side, which we really don't even have to connect it right here, you can just run this like this, and then we'll put another quartz fiber cable here. Now this is 4 of 8 channels, these 3 storage buses, and that interface. So you can also mirror this, you can flip it on top. You could put another quartz fiber cable here, and then some more, well, you're going to need to get your glass fiber cable up to the top of it. And I think, unfortunately, that connects. So I don't have room. But if you, say, you ran your cable off the top of this one, like this, and put your little storage bus interface and then more smart cable, yellow, and then you could run your power off the top of this one. You wouldn't have this here because you'd have the storage bus and the interface. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants on this part. If we do it like that, then run the yellow. We'll just try to make this make sense. So same deal, 1 of 8 channels because of the interface, but you could put 3 more storage buses on top of this, and then or 3 more DSUs, and then a storage bus for each deep storage unit. And it's essentially running off of just 1 channel count for this storage bus, and it's on this side of the controller. So if I had left a gap, I could connect it to the bottom one. Unfortunately, that's too close. Now it's a rat's nest. If I had left a space, the cable wouldn't connect right here. So this side would be using 2 channels, and it wouldn't touch that side at all. But I really don't need to do it like that yet. Now that I mention it, it's probably not a bad idea since I'm kind of space limited over here. Get rid of that one. So let's say we've got gravel in this one. We'll get rid of a smart cable just as a demonstration. We got gravel, sulfur, and coal on this segment of the network. If we go up here, if I disconnected the right thing, I did not. Oh, it just still had power. That's all. Okay. Takes a second for power to get in there and for power to leave. See, I can't access any of this. It still sees it for some reason. Coal I can't access either. What's on the other one? Cobble? I can access that because it's on the other network segment. So if I reconnect to this cable, we'll wait for this to power. There it is. We go back up here. Now we've got gravel, and we can access it. If we put it back in, it goes back to the deep storage unit, just like if you had done it in AE1. So this is a very scalable thing. You don't have to go this way either. Like once you connect it here, if you sacrifice one storage bus, you could basically, if you got rid of this storage bus right here, you could put one on the end, put a storage bus here, interface here, and then you could go out this direction, but you're going to use a bunch more of your other color cable to get out there. So I think the design right here is probably pretty compact. After the episode, I'll probably mirror this on top with some more DSUs, or I might wait until we actually need them. But I was watching them build this thing, and I mean it's really, it's really awesome. It's a really good use of channels. It's good channel management. So I mean I really don't even need this controller right here. If I get rid of the controller, everything is still going to work because we're essentially, actually I can't connect to that. If we're not going to use a controller, we're still only using the one channel here, but then every time we do this storage bus with the interface, we get 6 more devices or 8 more channels that they're just free channels. They don't have to touch the controller. So hopefully that made sense. The video I saw with him, he didn't do a very good job of explaining it. So I don't know if I did a better job or not, but this is how I'm going to set up all the deep storage units. So I've got room to go one more over here, and then I can either make a turn and go around, or I can flip it and then make the same thing on the ceiling. So that'll be 36 deep storage units that we can put down here at the cost of one channel on the controller. And really this is a waste, but I just figured I'd put it there because it was pretty. So I'm going to continue to move, figure out where to set up all the machines and how we're going to process the ores from the laser drill, whether I want to bring them into the system and then export them into the appropriate machines, or just run them through something downstairs and then import the finished product. And then I want to start working on auto crafting. I haven't even looked into that. I'm going to have to check out Brink's setup, and maybe Algorithm X2 has a video about it. I don't know. He's got a really good video about channels, though it's hard to understand since, he wrote the mod, so he knows all about it. And sometimes it doesn't come across. So all we need to do is, if I can find them, put our other drives down here. Or other disks in the drive. And now we're all set to continue on with our world. When Soaryn did this, he used drives and disks. And I mean, that's doable, but those things are so expensive without auto crafting. I mean, there's no way to make, you figure 6 drives, 10 disks per drive. That's 60 per network segment. So I really didn't want to get into that. I just figured I could use this pretty simply for deep storage units and then go from there. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Suggestions are welcome also, because I'm still wrapping my brain around this whole channel situation. I think I'm getting a grasp of it though. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time.